All right, so like Miss Crystal said, I am Mike from the Science Center, and that is Pete back there, and I have a lot of smudges on my glasses, so sorry about that. But how are you guys doing today? Good. Today we're going to talk about rockets and combustion. So can any of you tell me something you know about a rocket or combustion? Anything. I love guesses, even if you don't know. What about you? Yes, they do. They fly the sky and go to outer space. What comes out of a rocket? Yeah, so it's you said like dynamite. That's a good example. It's kind of like it's pretty much fire coming out. It's combustion, and that's what we're going to talk about. So to be able to show you how cool the combustion is, I am going to use this right here, which is my good friend. It's going to be called the whoosh bottle. But before we get there, what do I have in my hands and my face? I have gloves, mainly because I want to protect my hands. Because I have a lot of chemicals you guys are going to see, and those chemicals can be very, very, very dangerous. And I like my hands. I like using my hands, so I want to make sure that nothing happens to them. So I wear gloves at all times. Sometimes I have to wear these guys. And then on these, I wear these because I have to protect my what? My eyes, yes, because I'm dealing with a lot of flames and fire and explosions and stuff like that. I'm kind of like a librarian's worst nightmare, so this is like the one time you will see flames in a library, hopefully, okay? And I also have my friend right here. We all know who this is, right? A fire extinguisher, yes. So the likelihood of me having used this is very, very, very slim. But no matter what, when you have anything that deals with fire, you always have to have one of these because when it comes to safety, it's really important to me. I want to make sure that everyone here is safe. So if you guys can actually just scooch the front, just scooch back a little bit for me. You guys were doing a great job. I didn't realize how close some of it is. A little bit more for me. Awesome, cool. So get into that. Before I do these, what's really important is we're going to do a safety pledge, okay? So everyone raise your right hand. If you don't know what your right hand is, you can raise whatever hand you want. And repeat after me, okay? Repeat after me. It's a little joke I like to do. All right, anyways. I will not try anything that Mike is about to do right now. There you go. It changes every time, but I like that one. So the reason why I do that, guys, is because we have to be very, very careful and safe with these things because I've been practicing this, I've been trained on this, and I make sure that these go well. And it's one of those things that you can't just do because you never know what's going to happen. So we're going to be very safe. We're going to do this. So are you guys ready to see something really cool? I am going to need this right here. So this is the whoosh bottle. And this is 95% ethanol alcohol, and I'm going to pour it into this container. And what I'm going to do, always make sure I cap it, because one time I knocked it over and went all over and I made a mess, and my boss got mad at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl the alcohol around in the container so that it expands inside the container and turns into a gas. So it's hard to tell. What I'm doing is I'm just bunching up, make sure that the particles are all over the place. See? So now, that alcohol is going to be used as my fuel. This guy right here, we all know what this is, right? It's a lighter, but we're not going to use it as a lighter today. We're going to use this as our heat source, because in combustion there's 3 ingredients, and one of them is heat. So this is going to be our heat. So can you all tell me heat? Heat. So this is going to be the heat. So for this one, pay close attention to this one because I can only do this one once. And this one is really, really cool, okay? So when I raise my hand, I love countdowns. So when I do this, you guys go 3, 2, 1. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
So, if you notice me and you notice that it actually startled me because I never know how this one's going to go. So, I hate to break it to you, but I am not very strong. But this is so hot that instead of like melting, it just heated up. And then once I let go, it goes back to normal. And I dumped all the alcohol into the bag, into the trash bag right here. But then when I lit it, it's kind of like a magic trick, but that's not magic, it's science. It's pretty cool. So I got really startled on that one because yesterday I did it and it didn't go very high. And that one was pretty big. So that was really cool. So that was combustion. So combustion has 3 ingredients. Do you remember what this was called? Lighter, but we're going to call it heat. So everyone say heat for me. Heat. And then the alcohol I poured in there is going to be used as our fuel. So we're going to say fuel now. Fuel. And if you notice, all I did was light it right here. So the third thing in a combustion is oxygen. So everyone say oxygen for me. Oxygen. So when it created a gas, all I had to do was like light it right here and then went just like that. So this one is pretty sweet right here. We are going to do Alka-Seltzer Rockets. Now, parents, this is a lot of fun because the reactions are really cool. All right, so kids, do any of you have any idea what this is?
No.
No. You think it's a Menta? Do any of you know what an Alka-Seltzer tablet is or does? Or guesses? I love guesses. You can tell me anything.
A what?
Alka-Seltzer tablet. What about you?
It explodes.
It explodes? I'm going to use it to explode something. Yeah, what about you?
Is it gas?
It turns into carbon dioxide. Does anyone else have another guess? One more.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Minecraft goes kaboomie.
What did you say?
Minecraft goes kaboomie.
Minecraft goes kaboomie. Well, this is going to go kaboomie, so I will show you in just a second. But, so what this is, all right, to sum it up, this is like a medicine, kind of like a tablet. Some adults like to use it when they have a tummy ache. So like my mom, whenever she has an upset stomach, she'll take this and she puts it in water. And what happens is the tablet dissolves and it turns into like, it's a liquid and you drink it, it's supposed to clear your tummy. But do you guys have any tummy aches or anything? I don't, so let's try to blow something up. So, all right. Now parents, please don't shout this out. I know this one will be really hard not to. So kids, I'm not asking what's in it, but do you have any idea what this is? I've gone to 50 libraries and I've only had 2 kids know what this is. Hi guys, come on down, have a seat. What's your guess? In the panda bear.
It's for a camera.
Give her a round of applause, please. Give her a round of applause, come on. So, she's absolutely right. This is a film canister, because now what do we take pictures with now besides our phones? Digital cameras, right? Before that, we'd have to take a regular camera. It only took like 27 pictures. You would take it out, put it in this, go to Meyer, wait a day. All right, we'll get to the explosion, guys. I know I bored you. So, all right, this one I'm going to ask for a volunteer, please. Let's see, how about you right there? Come up here. Don't worry, guys. The cool thing about today is we all essentially are going to be volunteers because we get to make our own activity in the back once I'm done with the presentation. So if I can't pick you, I apologize, but we get to do a cool activity, okay? So, what's your name, buddy? Hansen. All right, so, you think you know this? All right. Why do you think it's important that I'm giving you these? Because you have to protect your eyes. Good job. So, we are going to walk over here, buddy. And so if you can hold that, and I'll position you a little bit. Is that comfortable for you? All right. So he's going to be holding my graduated cylinder right there. And I'm going to take the Alka-Seltzer tablet, put it in the water, and it's going to start dissolving. And as it's dissolving, it creates carbon dioxide. Well, I'm going to cap it. So pretty much it's going to be trapped, and it wants to get out. It's going to be asking us to get it out, and it's going to explode. If you guys can actually sit a little bit back, because you're in the firing zone. If you can go back there for me. Thank you. So, you got to stay still for me, okay, bud? You're going to aim right there.
At the light.
So, don't pay attention to me. You can listen to me, but make sure you're watching here because I have no idea when it's going to go. So the carbon dioxide is building up inside, and it wants to escape. So I can go. See? How cool is that?
I know this one.
All right, give him a round of applause for me, please. All right, so I need one more volunteer. How about you right there? And is that one? No, Big Time Rush. Yeah, I get my boy bands confused. So, if you could put one of those safety goggles on for me, please. We are going to do the same thing. If you can stand over here. All right, so what's your name? Shawnee. All right, so everyone watch Shawnee, okay?
If you wanted it to, could it go up there?
Yeah, it could. But I don't really want to. I kind of want to aim it over there at the light, I guess. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. There! Oh, that was pretty cool. All right, give Shawnee a round of applause, please. All right, so I don't know if you can hear it. Everyone was quiet for a second. It's reacting. That's what it sounds like when it's fizzing in the water. It's pretty nuts.
I can really smell it.
You can smell it?
It smells like
It's not that great of a smell. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to get back to combustion. So we had the 3 ingredients to combustion. One of them was heat. The second one rhymed with schmule. Fuel, yes. And then the third one, we breathe it in. Oxygen. All right, so speaking of oxygen, I'm going to show you my genie in a bottle. Not like the Christina Aguilera song. This one's a little different. I'm going to create a chemical reaction. So you guys have probably seen this before at home. This is hydrogen peroxide. The household hydrogen peroxide that you guys have probably seen that helps with like cuts and stuff like that. That is 2 to 5% is the average amount. This is 35%, which may not seem a lot to you, but this stuff is super duper dangerous. It's to a point where if I get it on my hands, it starts to turn white and purple, and I don't want any of that. So I got to be very careful when I pour this. But the more dangerous, the cooler the reaction is I'm going to show you. So that's why I like to present this to you. So I'm going to very carefully, hopefully not spill, pour this in here. So you can't tell, but it's actually creating a reaction right now. It would take a long time for it to occur. So what I need is something called a catalyst. What a catalyst does is it doesn't start the reaction, it helps speeds it up. So I took toilet paper from the bathroom. I like to, use household. See, thank you. That's all I wanted was one little laugh. That's all I wanted. So I take household stuff, and I'm going to take this. It's called manganese dioxide. One time I called it mayonnaise dioxide because it's a mouthful. So with the manganese dioxide, what it's going to do is it's going to speed up the reaction. So you can see a cool thing happen, okay? So I'm going to put this in the toilet paper. See, you can use toilet paper for science. It's pretty sweet. I know. I thought it was weird at first too, but I thought it was pretty cool after the fact. All right, so I have my toilet paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in the bottle, and we're going to see why it is called the genie in the bottle. Are you guys ready? All right, so 3, 2, 1. So we'll make some observations with it. What is happening? Don't shout it out. I'll call on you guys. What about you? I saw you raise your hand. What's happening? Smoking. Yes, a fog is coming out. And I fall for this every time. It smells awful. Anyways, you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. It's really bad. What about you? It's burning inside. It's creating an exothermic reaction. It's releasing heat. There's a couple other things happening.
It's getting smaller.
It's getting smaller. Yes, that's the big one. It is shrinking. I didn't do anything to it. It literally looks like it's floating. It's pretty cool. It's so hot that it's losing its shape. Were you going to say the same thing? Yeah. Yep. And it's also turning what color?
Black.
Black, yes. So I got to let this bad boy kind of react out before I cap it because, it smells so bad. I'm going to put it over here. Oh, it's awful. I hate it. So, okay, so I did the genie in the bottle. Now I'm going to show you probably my favorite thing. This is called lycopodium powder. And what lycopodium powder is it is a spore that's from a moss plant, but what I like to call it is a super duper science powder. It's pretty dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. So, as it being dangerous, I'm going to see what happens when I light it on fire. So, this is kind of show you how I compare the combustion of the rocket because this incorporates the 3 ingredients to combustion. So, I need this. All right, hopefully you guys in the front row are okay. So 3, 2, 1. I use this to scare you. And by the way, I would never ever let you guys sit that close if I knew it was going to explode like that. So don't, that's a little thing that I do. So this I put on just to kind of scare you. But what I have right here is nothing happened, right? Nothing happened. All it did was burn and char it a little bit. I'll walk around so you guys can stay seated for me. I'm not lying to you. This is a very dangerous powder. But I don't know if you guys saw. All I did was use my heat source and the fuel. I'm missing one important thing. And what is that? Say it out if you know it. Oxygen, yes. Because those are the 3 ingredients to combustion. So now, I'm going to put the bad boy back on. All right. Hey Pete, I'm going to stand over here. All right, so I have my heat, rhymes with Pete, heat. And then I have my fuel. And then I'm going to add what? Oxygen. All right, so where's my 3, 2, 1? All right, do it again, guys.
3, 2, 1.
See, all I'm doing is putting it out, but see? All I'm doing is squeezing it, creating the oxygen. What if I told you I would do something way cooler than that? Would you guys be cool with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you going to do something later?
Yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the presentation. Probably. This is like the coolest part. So, this right here, guys, is what I like to call Mike's world famous fireball. So, I'm doing the same thing. I have my heat, I have my fuel, and for the oxygen, this time I'm going to use my own oxygen instead of squeezing the tube. Instead of doing 3, 2, 1 this time, how about we do heat, fuel, oxygen. Does that sound great?
Yep.
All right, red. So,
Heat, fuel, oxygen.
all right. So that is my fireball. I did that on the news once, and they were very scared with it, but it worked pretty well. Because when you mention fireball to people, they're always like, even if they see this, they freak out. So, all right, so unfortunately, this brings it almost to the end of my presentation part. But before I show you the last kind of explosion, I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do after, because you guys are all going to take home your very own rocket, and you're going to build it. Yes, these rockets are going to work a lot differently than what we talked about by using, fire and stuff. These are going to manually use it with your finger, but it's really, really cool. So just so you know, rockets don't launch like this. They launch like that. So anyways, if you guys can please pay attention, and I will show you what we're doing, and then we'll go in the back after my last explosion, and I'll be able to help you guys. I just want you to see it first, so that if some of you get it right away, we can start, okay? Where'd it go? Hold on a second, guys. All right, so got this tube right here. There is enough tube for everyone back there, okay? So what you're going to do is there's a line. See that big line right there? Everyone see it? When you look at your tube, find the line. What you're going to do is don't cut while your finger's next to it, but take your finger and then kind of gauge. That's about the highest you're going to cut it, okay? Don't cut it like this where your finger's right next to your scissors, because that's not safe. Just kind of mentally go, oh, okay, that looks good. And start cutting up. Then what you're going to do is you'll have one just like that. And then now you're going to cut right above it, which creates 2 pieces. See? Everyone see this? All right. But we're not done with the cutting yet. You're going to cut those pieces in half, and then you are done cutting, okay? So you're going to have 4 pieces. And I will definitely be around to come by, and I'm sure if some adults would help as well, there is going to look like that, okay? Does that look good? So the reason why we cut that is so that we can put our fins in. This is going to give us the direction. It's going to give us a little bit of weight. So I was so nice, and I made you guys all your own fins. And so everyone has their own fin. And what we're going to do is you're going to place it in here, and you're going to give enough space, because you guys are all going to have 3 pieces of tape in front of you. And one of the pieces, the skinny piece right here, one of them is going to be used to tie around this. So it pretty much holds your fins together. See that? So now, what is left is you will have a rubber band. And the rubber band, you're going to take the other skinny piece, the small piece. You're going to put it on top like that. But you're not done yet. You have one more step. You have a big piece of tape, because I gave you 3 pieces of tape. You're going to tape it around the top so that your rubber band won't fall off that easy. And then you will, I'm bad at it, but not do that, because yours will be a lot better. Once you make yours, you'll be able to, okay? So, are you guys ready for that? Yeah. All right, I'm going to show you one more cool thing, and then we are going to carefully walk around, and we're going to go stand by the tables in the back, okay? So, what I'm going to show you is called a calcium carbide cannon. And this one can get a little loud, but I will tell you when to cover your ears. You do not need to cover them now, because I'd like you to, hear me for just a little bit longer. So, what I have here is water and probably the cleanest Gatorade bottle you've ever seen in your life. And I'm going to put the calcium carbide pieces into the water and let them react. And they're going to form a gas. And then we're going to see what happens when I light it. So, before I get started with that, I'm going to put these on now. Don't cover your ears yet. It's just that I unfortunately don't have 4 hands, and I kind of need my hands to do the example. So I'm going to cover them now. So if it sounds like I'm yelling, I'm not yelling. I apologize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the calcium carbide in here. It's going to start reacting, bubbling, and turn into a gas. Now I'm going to take my lovely handkerchief. I'm going to stuff it in here. All right, so if you guys could cover your ears for me. All right, and we're going to do the heat, fuel, oxygen. Does that sound cool? Yeah. All right, so let me hear it.
Heat, fuel, oxygen.
All right, here we go. Boom. So all that gas was heating up, and that's what caused it to go boom. So was that pretty sweet? All right, so if you guys want to stand up, and we will carefully walk to the back, okay? All right, now you put this on the top one. Very top. On top like that. Alright, now you put this on the top. Perfect. You're welcome. Now here's a trick. Go like this. Tip of it.